And now we have main man Mark Brunetti. The Idiom magazine's going into its 5th year of publication. We're going to love it. So here's Mark Brunetti to tell you all about it.
Got a bunch of free idioms back there. Make sure you get one before you leave. So. But I'm going to read from the Idiom Anthology, a book that we have. I think we only brought 4 copies because we usually give them away. Buy them while they're there. But they're up on Amazon too. So it's called Atheism. Why don't they have a church for the atheist? A place we can go to praise the non-existence of him. We'll give ourselves titles and ranks that determine just how much we don't believe in him. We'll accept donations, have pie sales, and even play bingo on Tuesday nights. We'll have holidays for those extra days off, and at annual town fairs run a booth with raffle tickets. Our prophets are going to be the best from the best. From Nietzsche to Sartre, their books used as Bibles. And the people of the congregation, they're going to gather on a much better day than a Sunday or a Saturday. Maybe a Wednesday night can work. Everybody seems to be free then. This is called Those Beats. The only reason those beats liked haiku so much was because of all the speed they took. It was the fastest thing for them to write, and the zen part just came in when they smoked some pot and calmed the fuck down. I wish it was that easy for me.
Who's a baby?
Who's a baby? Alright, so this poem's about the time after Groundhog's Day when I decided to live out of my car for a month, which a lot of people claim isn't real, including that guy there, but I will not be heckled. It's a myth. It's a myth. We have legends here, now we have myths. So this is called Homelessness in New Jersey. My idea of homelessness came from cartoons. A seemingly happy character with a stick and a polka dot handkerchief tied to the end to hold all his worldly possessions. I first attempted to be homeless when I was 7 years old. I packed up a comic book and a jacket, took some cheese and crackers from my mom's fridge, and walked to the clubhouse in my backyard. I stayed there for 4 or 5 hours, repeatedly looking at the pictures in a comic book and trying to find things to do to bide my time. Looking back, it seemed kind of silly. How could I have possibly survived on cheese and crackers for more than a day? Now, I'm 26 and I have a car and a nice state job with benefits. And because my car works, I'm considered to be an upper-class person without a home. And now, since I'm pursuing my master's, I'll have plenty of things to do to take up my time. When I was younger and homeless, I went back home because it was dark and my mom called me in. Now I have a flashlight on my keychain, and I don't think I'm going to listen when she calls, because I want to see the sunrise, really see the sunrise before it gets old. So let's also have a hand for Dogmatic back there. He's painted. That's been coming out with us, and we weren't sure if we should have him here, but he is. We're like, are they going to let him in? Acceptance.
They're going to auction that off, so you can give me the money for the auction tickets. It's $10. $100 per ticket. Kidding.
And either the Idiom poets are going to be famous or Dogmatic's going to be famous, so you got a pretty good chance there. So this poem's for him. It's called Googling Someone's Name is Perhaps the Most Romantic Thing to Do, as shown through a poem by Joe McCall. When I Google your name, a Twitter from you to me comes up to meet at the diner at 5:45. I don't know where we were going, to Philadelphia for some cheesesteaks, a beach to see some constellations, have a casual conversation over coffee at a diner. But I was probably late, as you waited in your car and our conversation was awkward, because my getting to know you part of any relationship takes a lot longer than most. Alright, so I also have another book out through the Idiom series. It's the dual book series, and I take 2 authors from there. And the first one was me, Mark Brunetti, and this gentleman right here, Mike Nordzi. Unfortunately, I forgot all of them. But you can go to the Idiom website, theidiommag.com, and definitely order a copy, and we'll mail them out to you. But I thought I'd read this one by Mike Nordzi. Oh, yeah. And it was just Valentine's Day, so Valentine's Day love letters. Times. It works.
Don't mess up my poem, man.
I'll probably mess it up.
That's alright. You can do it.
DearYouPorn.com. What can I say? It's been 8 months since we've been together, the best damn 8 months of my life. I remember how we met. I was telling my friend Cliff about this other website called XTube, and he said, man, check out YouPorn, it's so much better. He was right. Remember that night when my internet didn't work because we didn't pay the bill on time? I never want to be that far from you again. I know Valentine's Day is still weeks away, but every day feels like Valentine's Day with you. You understand me and let me be myself. You didn't get mad when I checked out the Girls Gone Wild page or my brief flirtation with horse porn. You knew I'd always come back. Thanks. Here's to the rest of our life together. Love, Mike Nordson. Here's another one. So this is our new book. It's not out yet, but it's going to be out in a couple of months or whenever I get to it. But it's volumes 3 and 4 of the Idiom.
I like that cover.
Pretty good cover. This is our baby son. He's adorable.
Oh boy.
So here's a selection from it. It's by this girl Alicia Guarchino. It's called Hydrate. I went to the beach, but the ocean was gone. According to headlines, all water has left the planet. Scientists are hard at work trying to locate it. In the meantime, I am thirsty. So are my neighbors. We band together, build a bow and arrow as big as our city. At night, we shoot down comets, which land like wounded hearts in our yards. We mine the comets for ice, and we do this until scientists declare comets are endangered. This is another one by me. It's called The Catholic in Me Loves the Sacrifice in You. The Catholic in me loves the sacrifice in you, all the rides you give your cousin in a car that can't travel in warm weather, the fries you give away at diners bought with change used for toll booths, and expensive video games for your brothers, which may or may not have zombies. I give my stuff away too, and eventually I see us both in an empty room with nothing left to give to anyone, and we're not bored and we're not meditating, and people don't come looking for us or needing anything else because we have nothing left to give. We won't know what to do with ourselves. We'll be anxious and out of place, and though we claim to be absurd now, we'll really know what it's like then. Yeah, this one. So for the past 2 days, I don't know if anyone's else been watching the American Movie Channel, but Shawshank Redemption has been on nonstop, and I've watched it 5 times in the last 2 days. So this is something new that I wrote. It's called My Redemption. Every poster, DVD cover, and Wikipedia page shows that epic moment in Shawshank Redemption when Andy is kneeling in the water and the rain, looking up at the sky, and his moment of complete freedom after 19 years in the jail and distance. People want to feel like that. But I want to feel like Andy Dufresne when he gets the books for the beginning of the library after 6 years of sending letters to the state for funding, having the thought to now send 2 letters a week instead of 1, and becoming more persistent, and becoming even more absurd, locking a guard in the bathroom and playing a piece from Mozart's Marriage of Figaro over the loudspeaker to all the prisoners in the courtyard. And when the warden looks in, I want to look him in the eye for a short moment, turn the volume up and turn away, knowing that the next day I'd return to the courtyard or the hole or my job or whatever else it was I do on a daily basis. I felt that way after buying a photocopy machine or seeing the reaction to Moth Guts, to a new audience, to an early spring, or driving 1,200 miles in 3 days touring upstate New York, handing out poetry to people who probably already know about it. Some people want to be on the rooftop of a building, drinking beers after laying down tar like waiters and waitresses taking shots at a bar in the middle of their shift in front of their customers to feel more human. Some people want to feel like that moment when Andy escapes jail and is looking up at the sky with arms outstretched. Me, I want to live absurdly all the time and play Mozart over loudspeakers to all the prisoners in the courtyard.
Yeah. How about one more?
So from the last 2 poets, you can probably get that we go see a groundhog predict the weather every year. We also go see a phoenix burn to the ground in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. And this poem's about that. It's called The Museum of the Phoenix. The Museum of the Phoenix doesn't even exist yet. Every year in the middle of December in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, the town builds a 4-story wooden phoenix and then burns it to the ground. At the main vendor's table, you submit your name in a raffle, and one person is chosen to be the fire starter out of the 20,000 people who encircle the structure later that night. A homeless traveling Santa turns his car's trailer into a workshop backdrop with a heater and waves to everyone who passes. Phoenixville is not a stranger to weird small festivals because it's also the same town where the original Blob was filmed, and every summer they reenact the scene in front of the movie theater when the crowd comes running out. The week before, they set fire to the bird. The children make clay birds at school, and the Irish pub has a night when they provide clay for the grown-ups. The clay sculptures are put inside the phoenix, and after it burns, the next morning you wake up and look through the rubble for your bird. At the night of the burning, fire spinners balance on wooden platforms above the people, and the chance to burn that bird rise and fall depending on the excitement of the crowd. The Museum of the Phoenix doesn't exist yet, but when it does, we should make birds out of clay and put them in the belly of the phoenix, so when it burns, all that's left is the ashes he rose from and a pile of hard clay birds ready to sit on a shelf and be looked at. Thank you, Kat, for having us. Ben Sherman, in the back. Don't forget to grab a coffee.
All right, thank you. To the Idiom Boys, Chris McIntyre, Stephen McNamara, and Mark Brunetti. Be sure you pick up your copy of Idiom Magazine, and you know what? They're looking for contributions, totally. So.